What's going on, Wrestle Scope Nation? And before you even think about clicking away, you need to hear what I'm about to tell you because the wrestling world is imploding as we speak. Seth Rollins just committed what might be career suicide with what he said to a fan. And let me tell you, the backlash is nuclear. Drew McIntyre is publicly expressing regret that has the entire locker room talking, and we've lost an absolute legend of this business in the most heartbreaking way possible. This is real. This is happening. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why thousands of fans are calling for Seth's head, why Drew's confession changes everything we thought we knew, and why the passing of this wrestling icon has left a void that can never be filled. Hit that like button right now if you're ready for the truth, subscribe if you love this business, and drop a comment telling me if you think Seth went too far. Let's get into it. The Seth Rollins controversy. All right, Wrestle Scope Nation, let's dive straight into the controversy that has literally broken the internet over the past 48 hours. Seth Rollins, the visionary, the man who's been carrying WWE on his back through injuries, through adversity, through everything, just had what might be the worst fan interaction in modern wrestling history. Now, before I show you what happened, I want you to understand something. Seth Rollins has always been one of the most fan-friendly superstars in the business. This is a guy who stays after shows for hours signing autographs. This is a guy who engages with fans on social media. This is a guy who has built his entire career on the foundation of fan support. So what happened at this recent meet and greet in Chicago has left everyone absolutely stunned. Here's what went down, and I'm going to break this down exactly as it happened because the full context is crucial. Seth was at an independent wrestling merchandise store doing a signing. Fans were lined up around the block, excitement was through the roof, and everything was going smoothly. Until it wasn't. A fan, we'll call him Mike to protect his identity, approached the table. Now, according to multiple eyewitnesses who were there and have come forward on social media, Mike started the interaction by congratulating Seth on his recent matches. Normal stuff, right? But then Mike made a comment that apparently set Seth off. Mike allegedly said, and I'm paraphrasing based on witness accounts, "You know, Seth, I love watching you wrestle, but I've got to be honest, CM Punk coming back has really shown who the real top guy should be." Now, let me pause here. Was that disrespectful? Was that out of line? Drop a comment below and let me know, because the wrestling community is divided on this. According to witnesses, Seth's entire demeanor changed. The smile disappeared, the friendly visionary we all know was replaced by something else entirely. And what Seth said next has literally caused a firestorm across social media. Seth allegedly looked at Mike and said, "You waited in line for 3 hours to tell me that? You paid money to come here and disrespect me? Let me tell you something, brother. Punk wouldn't even have a comeback if I hadn't kept this company alive while he was sitting at home. You want to talk about the real top guy? I've been here. I've been bleeding for this business while your hero was crying on podcasts. Get out of my line." Wrestle Scope Nation, I'm going to be real with you. When I first heard about this, I thought it had to be exaggerated. I thought there was no way Seth would say something like that. But then the videos started surfacing. Multiple fans recorded the interaction on their phones. And while the audio isn't crystal clear, you can definitely hear the heated exchange. Now, here's where it gets even more controversial. The store security actually had to escort Mike out of the building. Can you imagine? You're a wrestling fan, you're supporting the business you love, and you get thrown out for having an opinion? The reaction online has been absolutely savage. Twitter, or X, or whatever we're calling it now, has been on fire. The hashtag #SethInDecline has been trending for 2 straight days. Fans are posting their own stories about negative interactions with Seth. Some are defending him, saying Mike crossed a line by bringing up CM Punk when Punk and Seth's real-life relationship is notoriously complicated. But here's what really has fans furious, and this is the part that I think is most important. Multiple fans who were behind Mike in line have come forward saying they felt uncomfortable continuing with their meet and greet. One fan named Jessica posted, "I was next in line after that interaction. When it was my turn, Seth was cold, distant, and barely looked at me. I paid $150 for a 30-second interaction where he seemed annoyed I even existed. This isn't the Seth Rollins I admired. Think about that for a second. This one interaction didn't just affect Mike. It affected dozens of other fans who were there that day. Fans who had paid good money and taken time out of their lives to meet someone they looked up to. Now, the wrestling journalism community has reached out to WWE for comment, and you know what their official response has been? Nothing. Radio silence. Seth himself hasn't addressed it on social media. His last tweet was 3 days ago about his workout routine. The silence is deafening, and it's making things worse. But here's where I want to give you the other side of this story, because unlike some channels, we don't just fan the flames here at Wrestle Scope. We give you all the information so you can make up your own mind. Several wrestlers have come to Seth's defense, though notably, none of them will go on record with their names. One current WWE superstar told a wrestling podcast, "Look, you don't know what Seth deals with every single day. The physical pain, the pressure, the constant comparisons to other guys. And then to have someone come up to you at your event and basically tell you you're not good enough, I get why he snapped." There's also the context of when this happened. This meet and greet took place just 2 days after a brutal match where Seth reportedly injured his ribs. Sources close to Seth have told Wrestling Insiders that he was in tremendous pain that day, but didn't want to cancel because he didn't want to disappoint fans. Ironically, by showing up injured and on edge, he may have created a bigger problem. And let's talk about the CM Punk element, because this is the gasoline on the fire. Everyone knows Seth and Punk have a complicated history. These two have real heat for years. Punk's return to WWE was already complicated enough, with fans using it as a weapon to diminish Seth's accomplishments. But here's my question for you, Wrestle Scope Nation, and I really want you to comment on this. Does personal stress excuse poor treatment of fans? Do the pressures of being a top guy in WWE justify snapping at someone who's supporting your career? I'll give you my take. No, it doesn't. I love Seth Rollins. I think he's one of the greatest in-ring performers of this generation. But the moment you sign up to be a public figure, the moment you accept that top spot and all the money and glory that comes with it, you also accept the responsibility of representing the business with class, especially when fans are paying to meet you. That being said, the fan culture in wrestling has become toxic in some ways. Fans feel entitled to say whatever they want, to criticize, to provoke, because they paid money. But paying for a meet and greet doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful. It's a two-way street. The fallout from this incident is still developing. Some independent wrestling stores have reportedly pulled back on booking WWE talent for signings. Fan forums are filled with debates. And most importantly, Seth's reputation has taken a serious hit at the worst possible time, right before a major WWE Premium Live event. Will WWE address this? Will Seth apologize? Or will this blow over like so many controversies do in wrestling? Will has to wait and see. But one thing is certain. This incident has exposed a growing divide between wrestlers and fans that the business needs to address. Drew McIntyre's shocking regret. Now, if that wasn't enough drama for one video, buckle up, because Drew McIntyre just dropped a bombshell that has the entire wrestling world reevaluating everything we thought we knew about the Scottish Warrior. In a candid interview that was supposed to be a simple promotional piece for an upcoming event, Drew McIntyre went completely off script and revealed regrets about his career that left the interviewer visibly shocked and the wrestling community absolutely buzzing. Let me set the stage for you. Drew was doing an interview with a major sports outlet talking about his current run in WWE, his championship aspirations, all the usual stuff. But about 15 minutes into the interview, when asked about the highlight of his career, Drew's entire demeanor changed. You could see it in his eyes. Something was bothering him. And then he said something that no one expected. You know what? I'm just going to be honest here, because I'm tired of giving the corporate answers. The biggest regret of my career is how I handled my first WWE run. Not the wrestling part, the personal part. I was young, I was arrogant, and I burned bridges with people who were trying to help me. I was so focused on being the chosen one that I forgot to be a decent human being. Wrestle Scope Nation, my jaw dropped when I heard this. Drew McIntyre, the ultimate professional, the guy who grinded his way back to WWE after being released, the guy who won the WWE Championship in an empty arena during a pandemic and never complained. This guy is talking about regrets? But he wasn't done. Oh no, he was just getting started. Drew continued, "I'm thinking about this now because I see young talent making the same mistakes I made. They're so obsessed with their push, with their position on the card, that they forget this business is about relationships. And I cost myself years of my career because I couldn't figure that out." The interviewer, clearly sensing this was turning into something special, pressed Drew for specifics. And what Drew revealed next has people going back and